I Paul, hear us out.
Hi everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And this time we're talking about something very close to both our hearts. Cinema. Why you should still go. And why are you laughing?
No, it just seems, we love cinema and stuff like that. It
okay.
just seems like one of those things where it's just like, we're going to talk about something that we love, cinema. If people haven't gotten it so far, lads, you kind of haven't watched the other videos, have you?
True. But this time we're talking about actually going to the physical place. You have to actually go to a cinema to have a cinema experience. And a lot of people, there's a lot of talk. There's word talk on the street. People are talking smack about, God, that really, I'm not that guy, am I? I don't know why people are like, oh, sure, why would you go to the cinema? It's expensive and I can watch this at home. I now have a 50-inch TV with my surround sound that I bought in Aldi or Lidl or wherever, or spent loads of money on. Why would I go out? Well, dear viewers, I maintain that there's definitely reasons to still go out because there are things you cannot recreate in the home and they're not all just technical. They really aren't. What's your take on it? Do you think?
No, I'm a big kind of like, I like watching movies at home and stuff, but there is something to be said to go into the cinema, like the whole experience about it and everything like that. So like you walk through the doors and it's automatically cinema night.
Yes, there's a psychology to it all that when you go to a cinema, you are there to be told the story. The cinema is the cathedral for movies. It's if you're going to church for your religion or going to a football stadium for your football, when you walk through the gates or through the arch or whatever your thing is, you're there to experience that. It's the same with the cinema. That's why it's important. Let's get the big ones out of the way. Everybody's like, oh, well, big screen, I get big screen movies. Yes, watching Avengers on the big screen is amazing. But what a lot of people, I think, forget is that watching the small films or films that are maybe quieter or whatever they might be in tone still matter on a big screen. If you want to watch something like Green Book this year, if you watch that on a big screen and you want to travel through the heartland of America, you're on a journey with those big expansive shots. You watch any quiet film that involves landscape or a feeling of expanse, you need the big screen to really feel that. You can get that on your TV, but you want to sit a lot closer.
Right up there.
Exactly. So no, there's something about the all-enveloping nature of those massive screens, even for stuff that there isn't one explosion in the whole film.
No, it's this whole thing of films are made for theater, maybe for cinemas and stuff like that. They have their big silent moments where you're immersed completely. Like they're exactly the when you go to the screen, it's an immersion room kind of thing. Of this is where you're going to see the epicness of the stars and
yes.
Or the beautiful of the landscape and all those kind of things. So. I definitely prefer trying to see a film first in a cinema to get that whole full-hearted experience.
As the creator intended, because people who make films that are cinema released made them for cinema release first. It's what was in their mind when they were putting the finishing touches on it. I know some things are reformatted for TV, etc., but still, that's how it was originally envisaged. And just a quick shout out to the technologies like 3D, because 3D can exist at home. But when you're in a cinema watching something like Up in 3D, which worked really well, there was a moment where the dude looked across to where he had to drag his house to. And the 3D had a bigger effect in the cinema than it does on TV because you were there in 3D and it's a long way away. And your heart goes out to the guy, oh, I have so far left on my journey. You'll get that feeling at home, but you won't get the same experience.
Yeah, like 3D at home does not measure up to the 3D that's in a cinema kind of thing. But also with the technologies, cinemas are also expanding that and trying to make it fully more immersive in the way of IMAX and their sound systems and stuff like that. And also now with the introduction of the 4D kind of experiences that are coming on. So they're really leveling. There's no way that you can get those experiences at home unless you have I don't know, someone with a fan moving your one chair around and then spitting in your face. So and I'm gonna say,
don't do it at home.
I prefer to do it with the 4D with all the moving chairs and stuff, not my friend going.
Yeah, I'm not spitting in your face for this channel or any other channel. I think, but you segue nicely onto maybe one of the last technical things, which is sound. Dolby Atmos. I love it. I am in love. I'm a soundophile insofar as I'm in love with Dolby Atmos. And it's not for the big noises. It's for the small noises, or sometimes the almost insignificant but not insignificant noises. The Quiet Place, which was one of last year's best films, absence of sound was made much more noticeable by an amazing sound system. But also let us very much into the experience with other people.
Yeah.
So the sound system is great. You're not going to replicate it at home. But the other thing you're not going to replicate at home is having a shared experience with other viewers.
Well, like I've never experienced the fact that, like, especially with Get Out, it's a really good example. The fact is that you've got someone 4 rows down from you to the left, and they've got like a crisp or something, and you're in Get Out. Quiet Place, and you're just like, shut up, man, shut up, you kill us all. You know, I don't like when I'm at home, like, and someone goes, that's funny. You know, you're just like, yeah.
So, you know, people will say, oh, well, look, what's the difference? I've got 5 of my friends sitting in the couch, in the chair in the sitting room with me. I'm watching it with people. It's a shared experience. Well, that's the other thing. You lose the focus. You lose the focus that you have in a cinema because everybody is there to do the same thing. If you're watching with your friends at home, no matter how disciplined they are, someone is still tempted to go, would you just pause it for a second? I've got to go to the toilet, or I want to make a cup of tea, or whatever it might be. Or, as you pointed out, some people are uncomfortable around silence.
Well, yeah, no, there's a whole psychological thing to people wanting to fill silence if they can.
Yeah.
Whereas in the cinema, it's kind of a granted place of, this is a silence place. Or at least I fucking hope so.
And look, that shared experience can be a double-edged sword. If you're in the movie theater with a bunch of shits who are on their phone, that can be really annoying. But and just psychologically, this is the case. If you were watching a film and there are 200 people in a room laughing, you're going to experience it differently. If there is tension in the room and there are gasps, you will feel that from the people that are around you. It is not something you can replicate in your home.
Like the atmosphere gets grown from like, you know, like The Raid. There's a part where someone falls off a bit and cracks their head off something, and I've never had the whole thing of someone down a couple of like things ahead of me going, ooh, and you're just like, yeah, no, you've vocalized how everybody in the cinema feels.
We all felt the hit, and you felt it for us too.
Yeah,
that's something that, okay, you might get that in a room with one of your friends, or somebody might do it. It's not the same.
No, not at all.
It's not a shared experience, and that's the thing. It's not a shared experience with strangers, which is actually probably more, if I'm going to go on a little social rant here, it's probably more important now than it ever has been in the history of storytelling, to actually experience stories with strangers. It's a very healthy thing since the dawn of time, and we should not remove it, because we're all retreating into our own little bubbles as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are the little bonus things that, you know, aren't as important, but I think is worth throwing out. When you go to a cinema, you've got trailers.
Yeah, no, trailers are really good. Yeah,
I love trailers.
We know how I feel about trailers. I'm very suspicious of trailers.
Paul was mugged by a trailer once.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, actually, quite literally, you were mugged by a trailer because they gave away the whole thing.
Yeah, Terminator 2. God damn it, Terminator 2.
Well, yeah, you've got the trailers. You've got all that good stuff. You have got food that you cannot, I don't care who says it, you're not going to go home, make microwave popcorn on a Tuesday, hold on to it for 3 days, and then heat it perfectly up. You know, there is something about cinema popcorn that is not, you can't replicate it. Probably just as well. But you've got all the little things that make it a cinema trip. It's money to keep beautiful buildings and wonderful art going. Go to the cinema. We started this one off by saying I give it the grandeur of it's a stadium for your favorite sport, or it's the church which you practice your thing in. It is a cathedral for film. If you try and replicate that at home and you succeed, let me know, because I will start going to your house. But I have never seen anybody do it.
See, this is the thing. The only time I've ever heard or seen any kind of like, I've been able to perfectly replicate the cinema experience. and then you kind of have a look into it. It's just a cinema at home.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh, what you've done is you've gone to a cinema, gone, all right, I gotta get that, and that. Okay, cool. And then gone home and bought all those things and put it into the biggest room you've got. So,
and you're not inviting strangers into your home, so you're killing that important social part of having to be around strangers. So you're still not getting the whole experience, even if you replicate the whole thing. See, still win, I hope.
well, you know, it's I don't get when people are just like, yeah, cinema at home, I've got this and this and this, and it's way better. You're just like, you're like, you know, you're cutting off a little bit of something that you can miss. You know,
you're codding yourself. So, you know, let us know what you think. I'd love to hear dissenting opinions or agreement in the comments below. Let us know what your favorite thing about going to a cinema is. Like, share, subscribe, do all those good things if you feel like doing them. I've been Patrick, and I love cinema.
I've been yawning. I'm real sorry.
I've been boring Paul.
No, you haven't been boring me. It's just weird. I've been Paul.
We've been Heroes Out. You know my favourite thing? I like dark rooms with sticky floors.
Event Horizon.
Why every time?
I'm only messing this time. Jurassic Park.